Hello there, it's good to have you back here on Culture Mosaic. This edition is packed with exciting news and culture stories across the nation. Well, we'll make a quick tour around the 300-year-old Hương Khánh pottery village, 45 kilometers north of Hanoi, which still retains its pottery craft despite the influx of modernity. Then in our On the Mic, two-time Grammy winner conductor Jeff Von Dismished will tell us about his involvement in the Vietnamese music scene as well as his special feelings for Vietnam. And last but not least, we'll delve into the most exciting corners of the World Pianos Days, which was organized for the first time in Hanoi. These and more coming up. Visiting the 300-year-old ceramic and pottery craft village. Two-time Grammy winner Chef Von der Schmischt and his special feelings for Vietnam. Piano connects music lovers in Hanoi. We're going to start things off by taking a look back on cultural highlights over the past week. Now, this year's April the 1st marks the 18th death anniversary of legendary musician Trịnh Công Sơn. Memorial concerts have taken place across the country in the days around the date. Most notably, last Saturday night, thousands of Trịnh Công Sân's fans gathered at Hoa Lư Stadium in Ho Chi Minh City for an evening of beautiful and timeless melodies. The concert, entitled Calling the Four Seasons Names, saw the participation of the late musician's sister, singer Trịnh Vĩnh Trinh, along with singers known to perform Trịnh Công Sân's songs such as Bằng Kiều, Lệ Quyên, Đức Tuấn, and Quang Dũng. Last Sunday night, a special night concert in memorial of the late musician was also held at the working street named after him in Hanoi. The concert also saw the participation of two singers, Thái Hòa and Hồng Hạnh. Suboi has made headlines by becoming the first Vietnamese artist to appear in the regional scale music documentary. Accordingly, Suboi was chosen to star in a documentary about East and Southeast Asian hip-hop titled Asia Rising, the Next Generation of Hip-Hop, which premiered last week on March the 29th. The documentary brings a unique and multi-dimensional perspective on the art in the region through the views of 6 leading hip-hop artists, the others being Rich Brian in Indonesia, Higher Brothers in China, Keith Ape in South Korea, Witch, and Jin Dog in Japan. It is produced by Red Bull Media Host and 88 Rising, an American media company that has gained popularity as a musical platform for Asian artists.
Thank you. Can we sing that song one more time? Last night.
On Monday night in Bình Dương Province, the Quê Hương Humanitarian Center of the Vietnam Red Cross organized a charity event entitled A Mother's Heart with the participation of Miss Universe Vietnam Hơ Han Nie. 2,000 gifts, 20 wheelchairs, and 50 scholarships were awarded to people with disabilities and disadvantaged students in the locality. Miss Universe Vietnam Hơ Han Nie hoped to inspire nearly 400 children of the Quê Hương Humanitarian Center to lead meaningful lives and contribute to the society. Following a series of well-received Vietnamese dramas starting on April the 8th, Vietnam Television will release the first episode of the 68th episode series titled Về Nhà Đi Con, or Please Come Back Home. The series tells the stories of Sun's family, a widower who had to raise his 3 daughters alone. Each episode is a slice of life story, but hidden inside are deep messages of love. The film featured many famous actors such as Hoàng Dũng, Trung Anh, Bảo Thanh, Thu Quỳnh, and TV host Tuấn Tú. The episodes are scheduled to be aired at 9 p.m. from Monday to Friday on VTV1. In Inspired by the Paris, the city of lights in the 1920s, the Wonder Fashion Show by Trung Thanh Phong was held last Sunday at Shop House Europe in Ha Long Bay, Quảng Ninh Province. With music, fashion, and 3D mapping lighting technology, the Wonder Fashion Show had brought the artistic breath of 1920s France to Ha Long audience. The show consists of 3 chapters and was presented like an art movie that recreates the story of legendary France, with performances from top artists and models, showcasing designer Trung Thanh Phong's latest collection. The event conveyed his desire to build a new fashion capital where all luxurious fashion trends converge. The 3-day Japan Cherry Blossom Festival Hanoi 2019 kicked off at Lee Tai-to Flower Garden last Friday. Now, this special cultural event is held every March, and this is the 4th year that the festival has been held in Hanoi. Now, this year's festival is larger than last year's. Approximately 20,000 branches of cherry blossoms of all kinds have been carefully selected and transported from Japan to Vietnam by sea. The debut of the 2 cherry blossom goodwill ambassadors highlighted the opening ceremony. The cherry blossoms displayed at the festival are of many different varieties, all of which are in full bloom. This year, they have been arranged to form the wonders of the world and have become an attractive corner for youngsters. In Tam Kỳ city of Quảng Nam, Central Province, visitors now have the chance to see the beauty of blooming sua flower. What makes sua flower in this area so special is that they have a silky yellow color, which is different from the pure white species that grows in the capital city of Hanoi. The Yellow Sua Flower Festival, which opened on Tuesday, features art and photography spaces, culinary shows, board games, and tours to the province's traditional craft villages. Located in Vĩnh Phúc Province, 45 kilometers north of Hanoi, Hương Canh now still retains its 300-year-old ceramic and pottery craft despite the influx of modernity. Now, products made by Hương Canh artisans are famous for their beauty, durability, color, and simplicity. Let's find out more about this traditional village in this week's Culture and Lifestyles.
Ơi Hương Canh, nay hôm của ta đã thắm tươi màu. Bao hứa hẹn vui sao là gốm quê ta.
Hương Canh Pottery Village in Bình Xuyên District, Vĩnh Phúc Province is over 300 years old. For generations, the pottery profession still carries its traditional features. Made from green and brown clay from local soil, Hương Canh pottery is well known for its simplicity, natural look, and durability.
Cái đất sét nâu là cái đất lớp đất ở dưới bề mặt của ruộng cây lúa là 50 phân, tới xuống đến 1,5 mét là nó là đất sét nâu. Xong từ 1,5 mét đó xuống đến lớp 6 mét là một lớp đất sét xanh. Cái sét nâu này, cái tác dụng của nó là nó làm cứng được cái xương của gốm. Còn cái đất sét xanh thì nó tạo được cái độ láng ngột cho bề mặt gốm. Hai yếu tố này về nâu và xanh này nó kết hợp với nhau theo tỷ lệ của mỗi người thợ thủ công.
In order to become clean materials for making pottery, raw clay will undergo 5 stages of filtration, starting with large impurities to powder impurities. Then clay will be soaked and dry outdoors. Soft clay will be kneaded so it is more consistent and ready for shaping. In Hương Canh village, artisans roll up clay into a conic shape, then smooth it up. This stage requires incredible craftsmanship from village artisans.
Quá trình vuốt gốm người thợ Hương Canh rất là khéo, người ta vuốt gốm rất là mỏng. Chính vì cái mỏng này nó khó là nó giữ được cái hình là một, và trong quá trình nung ấy nó sẽ bị biến hình. Đấy là những cái khó của Hương Canh. nhưng chỉ có chất liệu đất ở hương canh nó mới chịu được cái nhiệt độ cao và vẫn giữ được cái hình như thế.
Heating is a final step in making pottery. The hương canh manual kiln not only saves energies but also delivers a large number of products. For hương canh pottery to maintain its signature color and do not get cracked or damaged, craftsmen have to heat pottery for 42 hours. Especially during the final hours, when heating is up to 1,200 degrees Celsius, craftsmen have to guard outside the kiln to make sure products are not damaged.
Đất của chúng tôi là đất thịt, nó rất tốt, mà là đất sét. So với Bát Tràng, so với Căng Đơi, là Căng Đơi đất người ta nó nhiều xương hơn. Thì thế gõ cái tiếng canh của chúng tôi nó kêu như chuông, như chuông đồng. Nhưng mà các nơi khác thì nhiều xương hơn, nó không kêu được như là cái đất canh.
For centuries, Vietnamese peoples have an old folk saying, mong cài porcelain hương canh jars to complement the exquisite hương canh pottery. Nature has always been in favor of hương canh, but the success of hương canh pottery village is thanks to many passionate and hardworking artisans here. Their hard work has helped hương canh to retain its popularity among people in the country and overseas.
The Culture Mosaic is a weekly journal here on VTV International, looking to give you, our viewers, the latest scoop on the culture scene here in Vietnam. Whether it be the diversity and richness of century-old heritage or the dynamic and exciting vibe of a modern Vietnam, we hope to bring you the manifests of the cultural and artistic soul here in the country. So don't go away, as we have many more news coming your way. Conductor Chef Von der Schmidt, two-time Grammy winner, is a familiar face to Vietnamese music artists. For the past 13 years, he has accompanied Vietnamese musicians and researchers concerning traditional and contemporary Vietnamese music. He believes Vietnam's music scene is the door for international audiences to access a vibrant music culture. Join our reporter Minh Hiền for a chat with conductor Chef Von der Schmidt in this week's On the Mic and learn more about his involvement in the Vietnamese music scene as well as his special feelings for Vietnam.
Chef Von der Schmidt is a conductor familiar to contemporary Vietnamese music shows like Ngũ Hành or The Five Elements, Vệt, Strikes, or Tiếp Và Nối, or In the Path of the Ancestors. These performances are special because they are led by an American conductor and the orchestra includes both Western musical instruments and Vietnamese traditional instruments. This creates an artistic link between traditional and Vietnamese contemporary music, a harmony between Vietnamese traditional musical instruments and Western musical instruments, and an exchange of Western and Vietnamese culture.
First of all, thank you, Jeff, for joining our show today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us, why are you in Hanoi?
I'm the artistic advisor and conductor of the Hanoi New Music Ensemble. It's the group's ending their fourth season. I've been coming every year since 2015. And so we've finished one concert on March 22nd. We're going towards another one presented by the Goethe Institute on April 21st. So that's what's brought me to Hanoi this particular trip, but it's part of an ongoing relationship I've developed with Vietnamese composers and Vietnamese musicians that stretches back all the way to 2006.
What do you think of Vietnam's experimental music scene?
It's very vital. I think the experimental scene is quite developed. I think that the next step is for the Vietnamese players to get onto a world-class level with new music. There's still hard work to be done. I think they're willing to do it. I think that the story of Vietnam is probably one of the most interesting in all of Asia. I think the artist has to take a role in interpreting history. I've told my friends I don't put on concerts, I interpret history. It is important for the arts to create the new chapters after catastrophes, after wars, after pain.
Born in Los Angeles, California, Jeff Vandersmit is the conductor and founding artistic director of Southwest Chamber Music. Mr. Vandersmit received 2 Grammy Awards in 2003 and 2004 and a total of 8 nominations for 30 disc recordings. He's also the conductor and artistic advisor to the Hanoi New Music Ensemble. After 13 years working with Vietnamese musicians, Jeff Vandersmit understands the Vietnamese custom of respecting, continuing, and developing upon the foundation previous generations created, but then find their own characteristics with the past providing a solid foundation. For conductor Jeff, the best way to preserve the old is to support the new. His journey with Vietnamese contemporary music artists helped him discover these values.
Can you share with us some of the shows or some of the collaborations that you remembered most?
The last concert we did was one of the greatest moments of my career. I have to tell you, that performance will resonate with me forever. And then the second half of that program with the new work by Vũ Nhật Tân with the Dong Kinh Cognac and the Hanoi New Music Ensemble was it was a phenomenal success.
What was the most difficult thing when you collaborate with Vietnamese artists?
Through the process of rehearsal, I've become friends with most everybody I've worked with. Very few people have, in fact, I've been to most everybody's home for a meal. The generosity of the Vietnamese knows no bounds. It's rather extraordinary. But there are real differences. One of the big challenges is I am still rather finding my way if someone is chào em, chào cháu, chào ba, chào ông, chào chú, chào chị, chào anh. I'm finding, and how that relates to a rehearsal is I might have 3 people with 3 different pronouns. And though I don't speak Vietnamese, I understand that creates their mindset in how they might ask me a question. I rarely get asked a question here. And I think a lot of that comes from something that goes back centuries from Confucius. And that is and in the West, the tradition of learning comes from Greece and Plato. And so we're taught through asking questions. So there couldn't be a bigger difference between how one is educated.
His time in Vietnam also nurtured his love for the country. Jeff Vandersmit has been to Vietnam 10 times in the past 13 years, which each stay lasting for months. He also traveled, studied Vietnamese, and did his own research to understand more about the cultural values and music of the country he considers his second home. Jeff Vandersmit truly believes music is the bridge that connects people and works hard to introduce the Vietnamese music scene to international friends.
So how did you research and study to collaborate and work with Vietnamese artists?
I prepare by studying, a lot of studying. I love learning things. I think if you stop learning, you might as well just die. So I like the puzzle of the language. I like knowing if it's sak, yuan, ngã, năng, hỏi. I like learning all about the tones. And I keep telling the musicians, if you can hear all the tones of Vietnamese, you should be very good when I ask you to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, pa. So I demand of myself for most every project I've done over a 35-year career that I know the history of the country and artists that I'm dealing with. So that's one part of my preparation that would not show up in a specific task in bar 25 in a piece of.
So what are your hopes and expectations for your work in Vietnam?
There is a desire from my Vietnamese colleagues that they become more recognized internationally, and I think it has to go step by step by step. And so that's the idea, and we'll see how each successive trip contributes a little bit more to building that road.
Again, thank you, Jeff, for joining our show, and we hope to see you in Hanoi more often in the future.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great pleasure talking to you. My favorite Vietnamese drink is the Café No Da. Jet lag tastes wonderful with them. Tiện get vừa rẻ vừa khó. I love all the soups of Hanoi, especially the pho bo. Hanoi is the greatest city in the world to take a walk. The old quarter.
Piano is one of the most popular musical instruments used in music nowadays. Many people have fallen in love with it because of the beautiful sounds as well as the joy it brings to people. In 2016, the World Piano Day was organized for the first time in the world on March the 29th by piano lovers around the world. And this year, Piano Day was brought to Hanoi by pianist Chí Minh and his foreign friends. So what's special about this day? What people do to celebrate it? Let's take a look in this week's edition of Connecting Cultures.
Piano is one of the most beloved musical instruments in the world. People of all ages play the piano. To many people, the piano is not just a musical instrument, but an expression and extension of one's soul. From love for the piano, Piano Day was organized for the first time in 2016.
Piano Day hay là ngày piano thế giới thì là một cái ý tưởng được khởi xướng bởi một nghệ sĩ độc lập khác, anh Neil. Thì họ chọn một cái ngày rất thú vị là ngày 29 tháng 3, tức là ngày thứ 88 của năm. Tại sao là con số 88 là bởi vì phím đàn piano thì có 88 phím. Đấy là cái lý giải của anh Neil như vậy.
This year, the day was celebrated in Hanoi for the first time. Artist Chí Minh is the one who brought the idea of organizing the day to Vietnam.
Năm vừa rồi thì tôi có được tham gia một cái ngày piano ở Copenhagen, Đan Mạch. Thì tôi thấy rằng là cái ngày rất là hay. Và trong cái dịp tôi về Việt Nam biểu diễn lần này thì tôi có đề xuất với chị đạo diễn Nguyễn Hằng Điệp là chúng mình có thể tổ chức một cái ngày piano, làm một cái đầu cầu tại châu Á, tham gia vào các hoạt động toàn cầu như này, vì tôi cũng muốn là nâng cao cái vị thế của những người chơi đàn piano cũng như là cây đàn piano tại Việt Nam.
Gentle melodies are fast and intense. The combination of sound and light. They all brought music lovers in Hanoi, especially the piano lovers, a night with many experiences.
Thực ra tôi thấy là mỗi một cái bài nó đều mang một phong cách ấy, là một ấn tượng riêng. Tôi thấy cái buổi biểu diễn piano như này nó như là nó rất là mới lạ và rất là ấn tượng, mang lại nhiều cảm xúc.
Rất là lãng mạn. Nghệ sĩ họ có một cái sự kết nối, không những là chỉ có tiếng đàn mà những cái âm thanh họ mang lại, họ có một cái gì đó là mình cảm thấy rất đặc biệt.
Besides artist Chí Minh, German pianist De Clavier and light artist from Denmark, Gunnar Bro also joined the performance to bring about a different experience for the artists as well as the audience.
To me, the Vietnamese approach to a lot of things is often halfway improvised if I compare it to the German way of looking at things. and I believe that applies to my music as well. Like, for example, today I had the chance to practice, which is nice. Even though it always turns out to be something different, it always turns out to be good, and there's always a lot of heart and soul in there because it's real.
My main rule is based on watching the audience and the dialogue I have with the performers. I'm also a musician myself, so the rule is the same as I would have if I sat down and played the bass. It would be an understanding that we have to follow each other, we have to complement each other.
This year, Hanoi was among about 60 cities in the world celebrating Piano Day. This is also the chance for artists to showcase their works to audiences and to introduce Vietnamese culture to international friends.
Ngày hôm nay thì tôi chỉ dụng những chất liệu âm nhạc Việt Nam trong cái phần trình diễn của piano, chứ chúng tôi không có dùng bất cứ một cái nhạc cụ dân tộc nào, bởi vì là ngày hôm nay là ngày piano trên thế giới, thì tôi muốn thông qua cái đàn piano này nó chơi những nét giai điệu Việt Nam để cho cái giai điệu này sẽ được vang lên trên toàn cầu. Thì tôi nghĩ là đây cũng là một cái thông điệp của Việt Nam hội nhập, bởi vì là không chỉ có chơi đàn dân tộc thì mới là Việt Nam, mà chơi đàn piano nhưng những chất liệu âm nhạc Việt Nam thì nó cũng đã hội nhập rồi.
Above all, this is a day for people to share their love for the piano. Piano Day has created a platform for piano-related projects to promote musical development and to continue sharing the centuries-old joy of playing piano.
We're playing tonight to raise money for World Heartbeat Music Academy.
And that is the end of our program. If you would like to provide feedback or comment on anything here on Culture Mosaic, please feel free to write us at vtvinternational@vtv.vn. You can also log on to vtv4.vtv.vn or our app at VTV4 Go for more of our program. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Until then, goodbye.